welcome to the channel or welcome back to the channel. My name is Hen and today I am going to make my closures for the flap pockets that I've got on my cover for my almanac. And I'm using buttons. As you can see, I picked out some beige buttons of different shapes and sizes, and I'm going to use them and some elastic and some thread to make the closures. So for starters, I want to figure out where I want them. So if I go over to this pocket, I want obviously one on the flap, but I also want one on the actual the pocket. And I'm going to stitch them on because I just think it makes more sense. I'm trying to decide whether I want to actually fold this over and make a tougher edge, and I think I will. So I'm going to do that first because there's plenty of room for my flap. So I'm going to give it just a neater edge. I'm going to fold it over like so. Doesn't have to be precise. And I'm going to add some glue or tape. I might use tape. I'm going to add some tape to that because I don't have to worry about it drying then. Hopefully I haven't done it too thin. Let's have a look. Maybe if I put the tape on first and then fold it over, that might be a good idea. I'm hoping I'm in camera. Am I in camera? Yes, I am. Cut off the edge there. There we go. She says, cut off the edge. There we go. I'm going to use tape just because I don't have to wait for it to dry then. Just use the end of my pen to rub it down for now, because that's what's on hand. Anything you can use to burnish it down, as long as it's not sharp. Stay pen's rolling, keeps rolling towards me. There we go. So I'll use that. I've just noticed that that tape has gone over the edge there a bit, so I'm going to just tuck it down to make sure I've not got any sticky where I don't want sticky. Like so. And then I'm going to fold it over. There you go. Oh. I've still got a little bit sticky there, but that will, yeah, that's fine. It's not sticky enough to worry about at the moment. And if it is sticky, remember, a little bit of corn flour will get rid of that stick. And I'm going to do the same on the other side, just so it gives my flap a bit more strength. So let's do the same on the other side. Give it a bit of the tape. Actually, let's mark it where I want to fold it first. There we go. So it'll make it easy to fold once I put the tape on. Good. I'm just going to go up to there. Try not to go over like I did last time. Like so. Cut it off. Cut it way too far off there. Where's my scissors? I'll use my scissors. That's better. It didn't go quite all the way up to the end there, but I don't think that matters. And I have gone over the edge again, annoyingly. Oh, forgot to burnish it. Let's burnish it. And see, when I tried to lift it before burnishing it, it didn't want to lift. Yeah, that's what happens. Instead, it tries to take the whole sticky away as well. like I said, that's gone over quite a bit there, so I'm definitely going to have to fold that back on itself. But that's easy enough done once I've peeled it off. So I can now fold it back on itself. Like so. And then fold it down. And there we go, we've now got a much stiffer flat, edge to our flap. Cool. So back to where it was before. I want a position where I want the buttons. I want them roughly centre. I could measure. So the measurements would be 10.5 inches. So half of 10.5 inches would be 5.25, which is, if I go here, it's 11 inches, isn't it? Yeah, 11 inches there. So 11 inches would be 5.5, which is about there. Perfect. And this measurement here is just over 11.5. So again, it would then be 5.75. Yeah, just go about there. It doesn't have to be precise. But ideally you want it sort of in the middle. Now, obviously I need to stitch this on from the inside, which might be a bit complicated, but it is doable. And I've threaded some thread somewhere. Where have I put it? Oh, I've got myself all organised, had my thread threaded onto a needle, and now I've misplaced it. Where have I put you? There we go. So I've just got a neutral thread. It's just embroidery thread on this needle. Oh, and it's got knotting on me. What are you doing? Try again. Oh, I think I'm going to have to re-thread it because it's where it slipped when I dropped it just now. So I'll get my needle threader. If I thread it from the other side, it'll be fine. Get my needle threader. Come on. Even with a needle threader, I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Get my needle threader, poke it through. There is a trick to threading needles if you haven't got a needle threader. There was no way I was getting this through this needle hole though, either. And it's you bring the needle to the thread, not the thread to the needle. Okay, come on through. Come on through. See, thread really thick, needle not big enough. Hang on a sec. Come on. There we go. Just needed a good yank. Well, I'm going to double it up. And like I said, I'm just using a neutral thread colour here. And I'm going to use the same thread for binding, which we'll do in the next video. I was hoping to get both done today, but it's not going to happen. That's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted. Let me trim the edge of that off, end of that off, because I didn't want it that bulky. There we go. Just a standard knot, not a loopy knot like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come inside, find roughly where I want the button to place, and feed my cord through, the needle through. So there you go. So that's in place now. And you just sew it on like you sew on a button on a shirt or a pair of trousers. Like so. So normally if you're sewing a button on, you'd keep going over and over again. I don't need to do that. So I'm now going to go in, and I'm going to go through where the original knot was. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to go through that knot. Hopefully you can see. Back on a loop on its own and pull it tight. And then cut it off. And the good thing about the fact that I've made this paper sort of flexible meant it was so much easier to do that than it would be to do it with normal paper. And I'm going to do the same over here and then I'll show you how I do it on the flaps. So you might be able to see it easier. So I'm going to use the small one on this side. Again, roughly in the middle. Doesn't have to be precise. And about halfway across the page. So about there. A little bit further over, I think, this way. And I can take my thread. Make a new knot in the bottom because I've obviously cut off the knot. This time I won't mess it up like I did before. Okay, just a standard knot. Should be fine. And we're going in. I'm flipping it round because it's easier to make it this way. I'm flipping it round, bringing the thread into where you want the button to be, about there. And then all the way through. And then we're sewing on the button like we would a normal button on a shirt. Oh, gone through. Why does it not want to pierce through the paper? No idea. Because it wants to be temperamental on me. Oh, I didn't do that right. I didn't go crisscross on that one. But hey, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I'm doing it side to side instead. Oh, no, you're way too out. There we go. Let's go through one of the holes I haven't gone through already. Why did the first one work so much easier? No idea. Might be because these holes are smaller. Could be. So I'm pulling that tight. And I somehow managed to pull the knot through from the other side. Don't want to do that. Okay. Pull that tight. Hang on a minute. There we go. Then back through the hole. The last hole. And I'm going to bring this up. Oh, bring this up closer so you should hopefully be able to see. So there's the original knot. Oh, that way. So there is the original knot there that I sewed. So I'm now going to take my needle and go through that knot. She says. Through that knot. Like so. And then I'm actually going to use this end here to tie it off. Just as long as you've secured it on the inside is all that matters. So a slightly different method to what I used before. Scissors. Trim off the excess. That is very loosely sewn on, but it will do the job. Actually, might do the job better. Right, so now, much easier when I'm doing the flaps, because you can see where you're sewing. So, not in the end of my thread. Stab myself with a needle at the same time. Don't do that. Okay. So this time, I want to bring it slightly away from the edge to about here. So I'm going in over here. Bring it up from the bottom of the button, back down into the paper behind. Don't know why that's happening. I'm getting threads, loose threads. Oh, I think that's fine. They were just loose threads. And then back up from the bottom. I think around about there. Manipulate the button to fit you where your needle comes through. There we go. Put it tight. I'm definitely getting loose threads going on here. Don't know why that's happening, but it is. And then we're going back through the button, back through to the inside, and then we want to tie it off. Now, I can much easier see where I've done a loop on this one, so I can go through that loop. It wasn't so easy to see when you was painting on the inside, so that's why I went through the knot. So I can go through that loop. I can then go back through the string I've just done, and that will give you a nice knot to tie off. And what you can do is add some glue to the ends of them strings if you want to hold it and not have to worry about fraying. I'm just going to trim off that little bit there. There we go. And the last button, which will be here. Haven't got as much of a flap that side, this side, but I still want it not too close to the edge, like so. This is the last one, and that'll be the same over and done with for this part of the cover preparation. About there. So I'm doing it by eye, going through. Don't stab your finger. No, not too bad. There's no blood, I'm good. Well, no blood at the moment. No, no blood, just a bit red. Right. Through. Oh, look what I just did. Don't want to do that. As I pushed the needle through, I pushed it into the original knot, pulling the thread through with it. Don't want to do that. Back up. So making sure my fingers are not in the way this time. And then back down through the last hole. And then through the loop that you made earlier. And knot it off. Woohoo. Now I have to put the dangerous sewing needle away. I think I'm losing light, but luckily I'm almost done here. So now we can use a few different options. We could get more of the thread and we could do it like so. And just tie it off. I don't want to do that. I could get one of my elastic bands. Remember them lovely pink elastic bands? You might not. Any elastic band, but I just happen to have some lovely pink ones. And I could do this. So I tuck it under one and tuck it under the other. And there you go, that's holding it closed. Like so. Can't open it. Holding it closed. I'm not sure pink is the right colour for this project, so I won't be using them. If I had some brown bands, I could use brown bands. But I think I'm just going to use some of the elastic that I used for binding my inserts. So the same elastic I've used here. You could use ribbon as well, that could look quite nice. So I just need it to be big enough that it will go over there and stretch slightly, but not too much. So I'm just going to get about that much. What's that? I don't know, about 20 centimetres. Yes, I work in centimetres and inches, just to confuse you. I'm going to tie a knot in the end. Like so. Or not. Try again. Let's just tie a knot and bring the knot to the end. As close to the end as you can get. Pull it really tight. You're going to trim off them little end bits. Like that. And then I'll pop that on like so. And like so. Oh, that's not tight. That's not really tight enough. Okay, let's make that knot further up, shall we? Not a problem. Let's see if that knot's, see if that's a good stretch on it now. Yeah, that's much better. So I can now trim off all of that. I don't need it. And there we have a nice little fastener. Have I done that too tight now? Oh, I can't win, can I? Try again. Try again. Let's see if we can get it right. Luckily this elastic was cheap as chips. Cheap as chips is a very British phrase. So I'm going to do that twice. Tie the knot. Hopefully I get it right this time. Bring it towards the end. I think that might be about right now. Yeah, that's much better. It's not pulling it up like the other it was a minute ago, but not too loose. So now, when I want to open it, I just go like that, and I can open it and close it. Let's do the same on the other side. I will trim off that ends in a moment. So the other side, This seemed to work better when I measured using the buttons, like that and like that. Cut it there. Oh. Tie the knot. Bring it down to the end, like so. And then we should be good. Yeah, we're good. What you can do is you can pop a little bit of glue onto the knot and hold it down permanently underneath this button. I'm not going to do that, but it will stop it from moving around like it did over here. So you have it like that. And that is how I'm having my fastenings. So I can now open and close the pocket and keep it closed. Okay. And that's all I'm doing for today because I am losing light. I started too late. I kept getting distracted and putting things off. But that is now the cover and their pocket, the side pockets with fastenings. And I'll probably use something similar when I actually put the cover on to hold it shut. But we'll see. Not sure yet. Making up as I go along. Anyway, bye-bye for now. Enjoy. Have a wonderful day. And please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye-bye for now. Oh, comments really help too. Bye.